Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. This story comes from Newcastle under Lyme. We've had a lot of terrible losses in the past few days, and one of them being the death of MMA fighter Jay Shepherd, who was stabbed to death in South London. I want to send my thanks to his brother as well, who reached out, and also to ask people, if they can, to donate to his GoFundMe page as well for his family. I will leave a link in the description, and I'll definitely keep you updated with that story. This story is devastating. Jonathan Bailey, he's 50 years old, he's a gym founder and an ex-professional boxer. He took his life on Facebook Live. I've heard of this going on like once or twice in America, and to be honest, I don't understand how it's allowed to happen. If that many people are online, and Facebook should surely have some sort of protocol in place to avoid these sort of things from happening. Friends of the former boxer have revealed that he helped other people with their mental health issues. A stream of messages were posted on Jonathan Bailey's Facebook page describing how he inspired others and helped them through their hardest times. Jonathan was known as Baz, and he was from Newcastle under Lyme, and he told his friends on Facebook Live that he intended to take his life. The 50-year-old gym founder blasted liars and cheats in one of his recent Facebook posts and added, "Don't give your heart to anyone, they will break it." Many of his friends begged him to stop, reminding him of his achievements. One said, "My lad seen you at school and said that you inspired him about his boxing." Another added, "Stay strong, Baz. You have helped and inspired lots of people, including myself, to get help with my mental health and getting there thanks to you." Someone else reminded him of a pupil that he had inspired and encouraged him to think of his grandchildren. They said, "They are your strength. Honestly, you are so adored. Remember how we met? You managed to get me to open up about the most traumatic things in my life." They then went on to say that you are truly unique and a sweet gentleman. Don't let the bad people or situations bring you down. Message me whenever you want to. Jonathan Bailey shared a positive message on his Facebook page, writing, "Always be kind to everyone that you meet. You could make a difference. Be kind always." In a Facebook post on Sunday, July the 5th, Baz vowed to stay on his own, and talked about also more cheating and to turn things around and to get their way out of things. So he must be referring to a relationship that he'd obviously recently come out of or was at the end of. He shared a broken heart emoji at that last message. The next day was his birthday, and he said that he was done. It came days after he mourned the loss of a friend, posting, "I still can't believe you're gone, brother." Facebook has come under fire after failing to stop the live streams, which saw 400 people watch. It emerged that Facebook provided Baz with support resources following his initial post on Saturday. The live stream was later deleted. The post-mortem examination has not revealed the cause of death. So when they say that Facebook suggested resources, that could be referrals to mental health or Samaritans. And then that would also imply that Facebook was aware of what was going on at some point. And Facebook has been going through a lot of bad publicity lately, with a lot of advertisers withdrawing claims due to the fact of the news sharing on the site and not filtering fake news. And I also found in a local paper, the Stoke Sentinel, that they actually went in depth into Jonathan Bailey's life and career. He helped the world's strongest man, Eddie Hall, on his path to becoming the world's strongest man. And he actually helped actively try to combat drug addiction in the local area. This guy was a legend, a proper stand-up guy. He made a Facebook group that was to combat drug addiction and help addicts to get off drugs. And he also participated in a award-winning film called Stoke-on-Dust that showed the true scale of the monkey dust problem in Stoke-on-Trent. He was quoted as saying at the time, "I've watched monkey dust explode in the city. I've heard about the children of users using it to sell at school and a 10-year-old being offered it for free in the park. I thought someone needs to stand up and do something. I want to see a rehab facility back in the area. We are the capital for monkey dust in the country, and clearly we need it."
Baz Bailey became passionate about trying to eradicate monkey dust after discovering that his son, Brio, had begun to take it. Rio was once a top-level triple and long jump athlete. He experimented with drugs during his time at university.
He formed Time for Action, and the original plan was to go out and speak to the dealers, but he realised that wouldn't be effective. We don't want any violence or anyone breaking the law. He said they believe that drugs should be reclassified so that they can help people with addiction. He actually also attempted to do the most weight squatted in an hour in aid of Alzheimer's Society, and he helped set up the Chris Edwards Academy community gym in memory of the Potteries boxing legend to help tackle gangs, crime and depression. Baz says he wants to have circuit training, yoga and mediation classes there. He wants to make it as multifunctional as possible. And I'm not sure who his friend was who actually passed away, but when I was looking around to find more examples of suicide in sports and especially boxing, I came across a recent story of boxer Nathan Heaney, whose father actually killed himself weeks before he went on to win the Midlands Middleweight Championship. Nathan Heaney shouted out from the ring to the father he lost just weeks before. He said, "You should have been here." It was Nathan who raised the alarm when he couldn't reach his dad, and police officers found him in his Fenton home. Joseph George Heaney was found dead. Just a day later, Nathan received a message from his manager telling him he had a shot at a title. Despite his grief, Nathan decided to press on with the fight, and while many of his supporters knew the boxer had just lost his father, they did not know that his father had committed suicide. Nathan is also a father himself. He's 30 years old. When I think back on the fight myself, I think of what it would have meant to him and how he didn't get to see the reaction from the crowd. I think about that when I was an amateur fighter and I would get 5 people turn up to watch me, but my dad would always be there. He said he had 90 fights as an amateur and my dad was at every single one. He was in my corner for a lot of them. My dad was an amazing bloke and an amazing father, and he was the perfect role model and most loving person. And this definitely makes you have to wonder about mental health, male suicide, and also in boxing and sport especially. And I know in the last video when I highlighted with Nicole Tia, black women dying during pregnancy more than white women, we have to highlight the fact that males are killing themselves more than anyone else. The rate of suicide in the UK hit a 16-year high in 2019 when the Office for National Statistics said 6,500 suicides were registered, making a 12% increase on the previous year. The rise is largely driven by young boys and men, with the male suicide rate significantly increased from 15% to 17.2% per 100,000 people. There was also a rise among girls and women, but this was not judged by the official statistics or compared to the first year. However, self-inflicted deaths among females under 25 saw a considerable rise, reaching the highest rate on record for any age group. Males continue to account for 3/4 of suicide in the UK in 2018, with 4,903 deaths. And I can't help but think about Tyson Fury as well, when he spoke about very openly about his mental health and the way that he contemplated it a lot and went through a big depression, drugs, drink, and all sorts of things like that. So I send my condolences to the family of Jonathan Bailey, and anybody that feels like they're going through this, please reach out to your friends, your family, and if you really don't have anyone, please message us, myself or somebody that works with me will get back to you as soon as possible, and we'll try to help to point you in the right direction. Maybe even just a chat could help as well. So I really appreciate you joining me today, and I'm going to do my best to come with some positive news in the next few days. I really appreciate you support and also following on social media as well as a way to support the channel. So thank you for joining me. Please leave a comment and I'll be back again very soon. Peace.
Bullshit. Proper bullshit, honestly. You want to see what? BBC News contacted Staffordshire Police and asked them what they're doing about the monkey dust problem, and they said, we've got a lid on this problem. Quite clearly they don't have a lid on this problem.